How I improved my health. This first picture here on the left was taken only literally 3 years ago in 2021. At the time, I was calling myself a gym junkie and used to always think, oh, I need a bulk to get big, to build muscle. It's the most optimal way of doing things. It's just not. This just not only just decreased and deteriorated my health, made me put on a fuckload of body fat, really just decreased my looks. Always got like this insane brain fog just because I was eating like literally over 3,000 calories a day, which was just clearly too much for my gut to handle. My skin just didn't respond well to this. I just couldn't focus in my uni classes at the time. I used to always think I was like super healthy because I was still going to the gym 5 times a week. But it really just wasn't the case. I really just lacked the education of what health actually was. Fast forward now to 2024, I've learned a lot through this little like 3-year phase. I'm just grateful I put my learnings into practice and feel like I just made the most progress, not only this year, but also last year when I really just implemented everything that I've learned. I just can't wait to share everything I've learned in the last like 3 years with you. First off, why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Adrian. I've been training in the gym for 6+ years. I've experienced what it's like to be extremely unhealthy and unhappy with how I feel. It feels purposeful for me to help others strive for improvement in all areas of self-development. Finally, I'm proud of the progress in which I've made in my own journey and feel like sharing it with you will only help accelerate your very own progress. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to get these like full-length educational guides on your homepage instead of like the shitty clickbait entertainment videos you watch every single night in which provide you with absolute zero value after you finish the video. Just leave you feeling like, why the hell did I just waste my time watching that shit? Subscribe to this channel, just purely education. My goal is simply just to provide you with as much free valuable information as I can, as it truly feels purposeful to me. My promise to you is that at the end of this video, you will not only learn what drastically helped me improve my health, but you'll feel more motivated to take action and become equipped with the education needed to implement these learnings in your own life. So there's 3 parts of this video. 1, ticking the 3 boxes. 2, reducing cortisol. And 3, optimizing sleep. Number 1, ticking the 3 boxes: light exposure, cold exposure, and heat exposure. How do I become more healthy? Like, what do I have to do every single day to just become a much more better version of myself, to clear up my brain fog, to just feel, honestly, just a lot more happier with my overall situation? I remember the first day when I took action on trying to do this every day, my health just drastically increased. Pretty much light exposure means you want to be going outside and getting sunlight/daylight exposure every single day, whether it be anywhere between like 30 minutes to an hour. You want to be getting as much exposure as you can if the weather's good or not. If the weather's good, take your top off, get as much exposure as you can. The more exposure you can get, not only the more tans you're going to get, but the more vitamin D your body can absorb, and more happier and healthier you're ultimately going to become. Obviously, yes, moderation is key, and you don't want to be outside for over 8+ hours, or else, yes, you are putting yourself at risk. But still, so many people think that you shouldn't be getting any sunlight at all because the sun's bad for you. The sun gives you vitamin D. Everyone should be getting at least 30 minutes to an hour every single day, and as much exposure as I can. Old version of me, who was really uneducated, used to think, yeah, it's bad going outside. I need to stay inside. The sun's bad for you. If you're someone who never gets any sunlight, like at all, and you're just constantly inside, if I was to chuck you outside on a hot summer day and you just have built no tolerance towards the sun, obviously it's not good for you. I think the most important thing is, when in terms of trying to improve your light exposure ability, is you want to like kind of progressive overload it. Start off going 10 minutes outside a day. Then next week, make it 20, 30 minutes, an hour. Slowly over time, your body can build a tolerance to how much sun you can handle. Obviously, it'll come to a point where no, you're not going to be outside for 6 hours, but you get what I mean. The more like sun you can get, the healthier you're going to become. Number 2, we have cold exposure. So you're probably thinking, how the hell do I tick the cold exposure box? Do I need it to be winter? No, there's actually a free method in which you can do every day, but it just requires a fuckload of discipline to get this box ticked. If you have access to a cold plunge pool, great, but if not, cold showers every single day is only going to be so optimal for reducing inflammation, reducing stress, increasing your dopamine levels. It's something you can do every day in which is only going to provide the future you with a whole lot more dopamine. He's going to be a lot more happier and a whole lot more like stress-free. I try to make sure I have a cold shower every single morning, but yes, I'm human. There's some days in which I don't really tick this box because these freezing winter cold days currently now in Melbourne, it's extremely harder. But during summer, it's a lot more easier to just go into the cold water. But if you can get it done during winter, bro, let's just say it's worth 2 times the investment. And the harder it is, probably the better it's going to be for your overall health. You hear the argument a lot about, oh, cold showers reduce muscle hypertrophy. Yeah, if you take it like right after your workout, but at the end of the day, I feel like the pros outweigh the cons. Like, bro, reduce inflammation, increase your dopamine levels over like a 6-hour span. So you're just going to become a whole lot happier. When you're a whole lot happier, probably going to cheat on your diet less. You're probably going to do the good habits a lot more often. And finally, heat exposure. Heat exposure kind of relates with light exposure. You can almost like kill 2 birds with 1 stone if it's like during summer, because if it's summer and you're outside and it's like a 30-degree day, yeah, that's heat and you're sweating, you're getting light at the same time. But let's say the spring or like autumn day, it's sunny, but it's not too hot. Your body's not really sweating from being outside. How on earth do you get heat exposure? Heat exposure has to be one of the hardest boxes to tick because it really relies a lot on having access to a sauna. Saunas are the best way to get your heat exposure. What happens when you're sitting in the sauna for 30 minutes? The heat is insane. You're sweating out all these toxins, only improving your recovery, improving how you feel. It's just one of the most optimal superhuman things you can be doing on a day-to-day basis. I know some people and friends who have actually bought their own like single person sauna, which costs costs like, I'm going to be brutally honest, it's a pretty big investment. It costs around like 3K. But the ability to having access to your own sauna and being able to utilize it every single day, your health is going to be skyrocketed. It's something I definitely want to invest in the long term, having my own sauna. But right now, once a week, it's doing the job. If you can try your best to tick these 3 boxes every single day, light exposure, going outside, getting sun, having your cold showers, and having a sauna as often as you can, not only did this improve my health, but it just improved my overall confidence, how I felt every single day. You're just going to become so superhuman. Number 2, reducing cortisol. Meditation, dopamine detox, grounding. If you're not really aware of like what cortisol is, it's pretty much the stress hormone. And when this hormone gets like really, really high, it almost like blocks your testosterone levels from trying to increase. It's like a crab that's holding your testosterone levels down. When your testosterone's its highest, you feel your happiest, your motivation is highest, the body's able to build muscle at the best of its ability. 1, meditation. Why is meditation good for reducing stress? Because it just makes you a whole lot more present in the moment and really clears up your mental thoughts. Let's like compare 2 guys. One guy who meditates frequently, his brain is just a whole lot more organized. He has like less brain fog. His thoughts are a whole lot clearer. He has like a higher stress tolerance. Like he can handle more workload. He can organize stuff in his brain more efficiently. Compared to the guy who doesn't meditate, who feels like when he becomes busy with all these random tasks, he doesn't really know how to organize them and his stress levels are just extremely high. You want to make sure you're meditating at least every day. I'm still trying to improve at this. I'm going to be really honest. I suck with meditation. If I can just say to myself, I'm going to do it for 5 minutes a day, which is such a small box to tick, it really makes it a whole lot more accomplishable. And slowly over time, if I can progressive overload this, I'm only going to improve. The fact that I'm taking action is the main important thing. Number 2, we have a social media dopamine detox. The younger me was always super glued on social media. I was spending like over 6, 7, 8 hours a day doom scrolling on my phone. And the main thing I can take away and like why social media is so bad for increasing your stress and making you feel like shit is, let's be honest, the more hours you've spent on social media, the more opportunities you've honestly had of just comparing yourself to others. When you're comparing yourself to others, just highlights of their life, it just makes you feel like shit because you're comparing your situation to theirs when you honestly don't even know what the hell they've been through. And just the whole comparing yourself to others when it should realistically just be you versus you at the end of the day. You should only care about your own progress. When you compare yourself to others, it just makes you feel like shit, increases your stress. You get feelings of like FOMO, like you see other people at events which maybe you weren't invited to. At the end of the day, you shouldn't really care too much about it because it's something in which you can't really control. You can't control if someone invites you somewhere. Just focus on yourself. When you can try to a social media detox, you're pretty much just decreasing the chances and opportunities of you comparing yourself, of you getting these FOMO emotions. And you think, when I can decrease the time spent on my phone, when I can decrease having like these comparison and FOMO thoughts on a day-to-day basis, think, yeah, my stress will reduce, which ultimately my testosterone will become a whole lot higher. If you're interested in like trying to do a social media detox, the cold turkey approach would be, okay, I'm going to delete these apps for 1 week. That's possible, but like after the week, you're probably going to be craving it so much and you're going to fall back into your same habits. What really helped me, which I've spoken about before, with like how to beat addictions or how to like reduce some sort of bad habit, you want to have like a progressive overload mindset. So let's say you're spending 6 hours a day on social media, become aware of this and say to yourself, okay, next week, I'm only going to spend 5 hours on Instagram, Snapchat, etc. See, that's progress. You've just reduced it by 1 hour and now you've become a better version of yourself. Now you've decreased the amount of opportunities of you comparing yourself and you feeling like shit. So every week, say to yourself, okay, I'm going to decrease by 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. And before you know it, you're going to be like, why do I even have social media? Small, progressive, incremental changes is key to just ultimately like succeeding. Finally, number 3, we have grounding. This is really good for reducing your cortisol and inflammation in your body. Pretty much what grounding is, and as spiritual as it sounds, you want to go outside barefoot and touch grass. So many proven studies on like why this reduces your stress and inflammation. When was the last time you went outside and walked around barefoot? No one does it. We're all just stuck in our foot prisoners. We're all wearing shoes every single day. We never really connect to the earth's core. When I heard about this, I'm like, damn, this is so true, because during summer, when I'm grounded a lot more, like just literally walking on the beach barefoot, right, as we all do. Think about like how much more happier you are when you're grounded compared to the whole like winter phase of your life. You go like 8 months without actually touching the earth's core. When you can aim to maybe 2-3 times a week, go outside, get sun, top off, you're already ticking off heat exposure, light exposure, and then also having no shoes on and just grounding with the earth's core, you're literally going to become a superhuman. Absolutely no one talks about how important grounding is. Start making this a habit of yours and your health is going to skyrocket. And finally, number 3, optimizing sleep. I made a whole video about how I've improved my sleep, but to quickly provide you some quick education and what really helped me optimize my sleep. Number 1, no phone 1 hour before bed. Blue light before bed really can disrupt your sleep quality. It's not even just that. All it takes is one bad nodi in which can distract and give you this crazy stress and honestly disrupt your whole sleep throughout the night. Like let's say it's one important text message from your work boss, your parents, friends, etc. It's like, bro, that message can wait for the morning when my brain's a whole lot more fresh. I want to not go on my phone 1 hour before bed to erase this from the equation of actually happening. I don't want to have to deal with some sort of stressful situation when I'm trying to relax, like the relaxation period of my time. Just get it out of the equation. Don't go on your phone 1 hour before bed to not only eliminate blue light, but to remove this potential scenario of you having to dealing with some sort of stressful situation. Number 2, nasal strips. I actually have them here. You can literally get these from the chemist. Pretty much, they're like those nose strips you put on your nose. And why are they so effective? Because when you put these on your nose, they like make your nose airways more narrow, in which makes you be able to breathe through your nose a whole lot more efficiently and effectively. You want to be able to be a nose breather and not a mouth breather, because when you're a mouth breather, you're absorbing a lot more bacteria, unhealthier way of breathing throughout the night. If you like snoring and shit and your mouth's open, by wearing these nasal strips, it makes you be able to breathe through your nose airways a whole lot more efficiently, and you're going to notice your sleep quality is going to be improved like 100x. And finally, pink noise. Pink noise is something you can put on your phone an hour before bed, and like you can go on Spotify, download a pink noise playlist, and pretty much you have this running throughout the night. Not only does it make you fall asleep faster, but it also improves your sleep quality. Pretty much provides you with like these perfect frequencies in which like eliminates you getting like overthinking thoughts and shit. Kind of like the perfect background noise in which it provides you with peak relaxation. On like nights when it's raining outside, that feels like so good and it helps you relax a lot more. But on those nights where it's not raining, you just want some peaceful background noise, pink noise is the best tool and what helped me optimize my sleep so much and improve my sleep quality. I hope this advice was valuable and it motivates and gives you the education you need to take action in trying to improve your health. Leave a comment about any other health hacks that have been game changing for you down below. Like and subscribe for more videos about self-improvement, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!